So how? How could they still overpower my Soma? What did Fig do?
Yay! How's that? Miss!
Observe.
Any thoughts?
Don't stop. You're impressed, yeah?
The purple! What's going on?
Hey! Get back here! Shit!
He got away with the Covenants. Hey, we still managed to beat Zenon. I'd call that a win. But more importantly...
What's going on? Fig?
Thank you, Ash. You gave us the opening we needed against Iron Mask.
Not a big deal. I was just doing my own thing.
Even so, thank you for being so brave.
Fig!
You don't have to shout, Ringo. I can hear you.
Then don't just ignore me!
I prioritized thanking Ash. I suspected that I would miss the opportunity to do so if I answered your question first.
Fig... You're not dead?
You don't have to hold on to that body. I'm not in there anyway.
Then... what is this body?
It's a remotely controlled proxy. You could say I took some inspiration from Mimi.
You actually made the Babe drone?
Yes. Do you recall my first operation as Mimi, when Saizo proposed a certain alternate form for my recon drone?
Yeah, I remember.
Ever since then, I've been working on this plan to engineer a second body for myself.
Why?
Because of the Covenant. I anticipated that continuing to travel unguarded with a Covenant at stake would pose significant risk. To mitigate that risk, I had the idea to create another body. A familiar form with simplified functions. And above all, one I could pilot remotely.
Without telling me?
Without telling you.
Come on, guys. Let's focus on the fact that Fig's safe, okay?
Hey Fig, your Covenant seemed to sap away Zenon's power. What happened?
I knew you'd be up against a powerful foe. With the worst case scenario in mind, I decided I'd come up with a fallback plan.
All on your own?
Zenon was using the Covenants to amplify his already considerable combat abilities. He'd focused all their power to that singular function.
Yeah, I think Victor said something like that too.
Right. And that connection, between his own latent strength and the Covenant's maximizing his potential, that was the real source of his power. With that in mind, I concocted a virus with the sole purpose of severing that link, and implanted it into the Yellow Covenant. Both were then transferred into the decoy body, which I built using components from my actual form.
And when he took the Covenant from you, that was your perfect chance to activate it.
There was no way to prove it would work. I couldn't guarantee the virus would even affect him, so I'd only intended it as a last resort.
Wow. I mean, seriously, Fig, that's downright devious. Never would have thought you had it in you.
Well, I couldn't risk losing you and everyone else after all. Besides which, it wasn't through my efforts alone. I'd never have come up with it without your combat data from the last fight with Zenon.
I don't want modesty, lady. I want an explanation. How'd you beat the system? I want cheat codes too. Let me in on this.
Some answers would be great, but we need a plan fast. Iron Mask's got the Yellow Covenant now. That means he has all of them, doesn't it? I don't know if we've got time to waste here.
That's not a problem, Arrow. Iron Mask only has 4 covenants, including the Yellow. The situation is still dire, but Iron Mask has also lost Zenon. That has to be a significant blow to his ambitions. We're not out of the fight yet.
But then, where's the last Covenant?
I've already identified the bearer of the final covenant.
How?
I managed to extract that information from Mangetsu's smartphone. But before we discuss that further, let's all get back to safety.